I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm taking part in the Trinity Stamps video hop for the Autumn Impressions release. This is available now, August 27th, and today I am using the Autumn Impressions stamp set. I'm going to do a technique on a piece of watercolor paper with Atelier inks from Ink on 3 that are available in the Trinity shop. I'm pretty sure that this technique is called Joseph's coat. I'm not sure, but we're going to call it Joseph's coat for now. So what I'm doing is swiping the ink pads directly on a piece of watercolor paper. You could take the time to ink blend if you like, but this is super fast. I added a few squirts of water, which helps those colors blend together. And then I'm using a heat tool on low just to get everything dry. Now, whenever I place this panel into my MISTI, I'm using some adhesive on the back because I want to stamp around the outside edges and I'll have nowhere to secure the paper down. So I'll start off by adding some anti-static powder, and then I'm going to place these images, which are solid images, on the paper and kind of arrange them in a different way around the outside edge. I'm even going to use this stamp that says Happy Thanksgiving. I chose these colors because I thought they would show up nicely, but at this point I'm starting to second guess that teal at the bottom. It came out a little darker than I would like, but we'll see how it goes. Now I'm going to add some juicy embossing ink from Ink on 3 and then apply the door of the MISTI down and stamp all of these images. Now I've taken some more of those stamps and filled in the area at the bottom that needs a little more coverage, and that will be great for us to be able to add the crystal clear embossing powder from Ink on 3. And then I'm going to heat set everything with my heat tool on high. This is a piece of watercolor paper, and I chose to use watercolor because it would stand up to all the things that I've got to do to this piece of paper, which would be all the embossing and all the water and all the liquid that I had to add to it. Now I'm going to heat set these images, and I'm noticing that the teal's coming out even darker than I thought it was. It's funny how some color choices come out really great, and then at other times they just don't work out the way we wanted them to. So I'm going to fill in a couple more edges, the left and the right edge, with some more of those images, and I followed the same process with the embossing bag and then the juicy embossing ink. And I'll use a cloth just to remove all that excess powder. And I'm really liking the look of this, but I'm worried about that teal color at the bottom. So I'm going to now paint some black ink over the whole panel. If you haven't tried this before, then this is part of the emboss resist idea, to where you're going to add something dark, and then what's happened is when you stamped and you clear embossed your images, the color is trapped underneath the embossing powder. So this is some ink refill from Ink on 3 called Paint It Black. And as you can see here, I have a palette that's full of ink refills just from Ink on 3. And I use them like liquid watercolors. They work fantastic. Now, I would not recommend that you use a heat tool in this step. I would recommend that you let the piece dry naturally, because sometimes adding that little bit of heat kind of makes that black ink soak down into the embossing powder more than you might want. So I'm taking a paper towel and wiping off that ink from the embossed areas, and for the most part it comes off easily. Some of it doesn't want to. Now here is a frame die from the Modern Embossed Panels from Trinity Stamps, and I've cut this down to where it'll fit on a slimline card that measures 8.5 by 3.5 inches. I'm using some tape runner from the Trinity shop to adhere my panel down directly to a black card base. Now I am using the prettiest Embellishments. Oh, they're so pretty. There's a whole bunch of new embellishments in the Trinity shop, and this one is called Melanite Magic, and it's like a really dark color of black, but it has purple and green and blues in it. It's so pretty. And I'm going to adhere those with my pickup stick from Trinity Stamps and place them around. Now I'm still worried about that bottom area. I think it's a pretty card, but just to show you exactly how well this technique works, I made a new version with different colors that would show up a little better. Followed exactly the same steps, but just used different colors. I hope that you like this technique and that you'll check out all the new products from Trinity Stamps. They have lots of autumn and Halloween themed goodies. And this video is part of the video hop, so to participate and enter to win, leave a comment on this video and all the videos in the hop. You can get to the link on the very top line of my video description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.